like even we think about parenting, man, I feel like people try to, it's like to what you said, but it's a toxic way. It's like people are trying to negate their children from having certain experiences. And it's like understanding if you like who you are, it's because of what you went through. We say that, right? But it's like parenting isn't about your kids not having no problems. It's about equipping your kids with the tools to be able to handle the problems that they find themselves faced with. The tools that you didn't have, the tools that you got late in life, are the tools that was misused, right? Because a hammer could build or destroy depending on how you use it. So if you had a hammer in your life and it was used to tear you down, the words I'm calling the hammer the words that your parents said to you. You never gonna be shit. You da-da-da-da. You don't take that hammer and throw it away. Because you still need the words, but you need to take that hammer to build them up. Yo, you could do anything you want. You could be anything you want. You could become anything you want. And that's how you got to start to think about breaking those generational cycles of toxicity and bad parenting. But people try to just say, I'm going to just do away with it in total. I got yelled at, so I'm not going to yell. Nah, like, just be careful and be mindful of how you communicate to your kid. Maybe it don't require yelling, but they still need discipline. And they don't need you to solve their problem. Like, that's not effective parenting. That's coddling. And what that creates is a bunch of lackadaisical people who are going to lean on you to come and solve their problem when you need to be creating solutions. You need to be creating leaders, because most of the stuff our children go through, we're not going to be there with them when they're making the decisions. So we need to equip them in so many ways so that they can pull from the toolbox so many different possibilities of solutions versus it just being like, let me call my dad, let me call my mom. Like, that's literally a lot of people, even our age adults. Absolutely. First resort is to call their parents. Why? Because their parents always was the one. It starts something as simple as making a bed instead of saying, make your own bed. Clean up behind them instead of saying, clean up behind yourself. So you are creating someone who's going to be relying on you or the next person throughout the world and have no certain level of independence. It's just going to be like, that's what it is. But to go back to the whole generational health thing, is like, that's where the self comes into place. Like, okay, go back to the things that affected you when you was a kid, right? Literally, it's not easy. It's cringy. You trust me. Like, when I tell you, self-reflection is not a pretty process. Looking at yourself, figuratively speaking, naked, literally looking at yourself, flaws and all, and being able to say, you know what? This is who I am. This is what it is. And not trying to make it up or dress it up or throw some designer sneaks over it. You literally like, you know what? Like, this is what it is. And either you can accept that you can't change it or change it because you can't accept it. But it can't just be one of them things that you just act like don't exist. You can't just sweep it under the rug, and because that's when it becomes that thing where you don't even know how to teach your kids emotional regulation, how to regulate their emotions, how to be emotionally intelligent, because you never acquired it. So it'd be so funny when the kids come home with the new math and you're like, shit, I ain't never learned this method. A lot of y'all teaching y'all kids, but y'all don't understand the ways to do it because y'all never learned took the materials. And, you know, to be able to teach the curriculum, y'all just kind of went away from it. Like, all right, I'm going to go ahead. I don't need that class to graduate. I'm going to go ahead and just go through life. And I feel like that's how a lot of people live. And they're going through life just dropping classes that they don't want to take. But when it comes time to tutor your kids, it ain't there. So now you going to not show them nothing. But at the same time, they might have not been affected by it, but they being affected in other ways because it's compounding and them just being green and naive. And a lot of kids don't even know how to travel by themselves. Not that they should, but it's just like, at least we knew how to catch the bus. These kids don't know shit. You know, they know Uber and Lyft.
All right. All right, I'm about to get my woofism off. I'm about to get you ready for the analogy? All right, here we go, y'all.
You got one.
Yeah, I got one. So you know what it's like?
Talk to me.
You know what it's like?
I got to be cute. Go ahead.
When you're trying to clean and heal yourself, and you're like, imagine trying to clean a couch, but you're just sweeping all around it, and you don't just lift the couch up and get what's under there to fully fucking clean, whatever. So I feel that's a lot. Many people clean that way. Like, yo, clean the living room, or I'm just sweep around it, you know, pick up some shit, whatever. But no, you got to really do the work because it's not a pretty process. It's a strenuous process. You know, to deep clean your past, your flaws and your triggers, whatever, is more than just sweeping around some shit and barely unpacking it. Because you really got to explore yourself to get to the bottom of it.
Accept it. Right. Like, you accept it, but I don't even accept it. And I feel like that's a lot of people's process. They feel like, all right, I'll tell you what's wrong with me and you should just be okay with it. And it's like, whether I'm okay with it or not, you're not even okay with it. So I need you to self-reflect in a way that allows you to be okay with it, because you want me to accept you and you don't even accept yourself. I can tell you I like you without makeup, but you still gonna put makeup on and tell me it ain't for me. I can tell you I like natural bodies, but you gonna think that because I might have looked left when I seen an ass walk, that mean I'm in. No, I'm telling you what I meant. I'm telling you what I love at the end of the day. And you disregarding what I love because you not even accepting your flaws. So if I tell you I like you without weaving, you gonna think that I'm trying to keep you from being a baddie. If I tell you I like you with a natural face, You gonna think that I don't want you to look pretty. I'm telling you, you look pretty. This is what I'm telling you. And it's like, if you gonna disregard what I'm telling you about what I like or what I love about you, and then wonder why I'm not as interested, is because you went left when I told you to go right. You feel what I'm saying? Just learn to accept yourself, learn to love yourself. And it's easy for somebody else to love you. People love me because I love me. And whether they love me or not, don't matter. Why? Because I love me. But if I didn't love me, nobody's love would be enough. Y'all want people to fill voids that's unfillable, because the void is the disconnect from you to you. Nobody, if this is you and this is you and it's that gap, nobody can close that gap but you. People could be an extension of that. They can add to that, but there's nothing they could do to fill it. It's not no matter bags they could buy you, no matter trips they could take you on, no matter money they could spend on you, no matter love that they could shower you and devour you with. If you don't have that gap filled, which is why you gotta, as my man Q just said, you gotta not just sweep around the fucking couch.
Go.
You gotta go under the couch and get it so that we know for a fact, no, like I did the deep cleaning. We ain't just tidy up, we deep clean. So now I ain't worried about somebody coming in here and noticing something, because I did all the work that needed to be done in order for me to feel confident and comfortable within my own skin. And that's how you fully and truly accept yourself.
For sure. And back one last thing about that, we said before, but like kids are also just the ultimate mirror. So even though you didn't do the exploring or the unpacking or the deep cleaning, then your kids exhibit the same behaviors, patterns, and triggers. You like, where the fuck this kid? What the? It's like, dog, you didn't fix your shit, and now most likely you done pass your shit down. Then the cycle repeats.
And it's funny because kids really be the ultimate mirror, and it'd be like, not even just kids, humans. When you think about it, right? Often the things that bother us and others are things that really bother us about ourselves. We don't like to admit that as a fact, but if you see somebody and it irritates you, it's because there's a deep part of you that either wants to dissociate yourself from it, or you're still so attached to it that it bothers you that you see somebody else doing it. Even if it's not something that's like extremely nice, it's just so fun. Let me slow it down. What I mean by that is,
give me an example of something maybe you can relate to.
No, so it's like one of the things where it's like, if somebody, think about if somebody come in a room loud, right? That could irritate you, but it's really because you wish you had that personality type to be outgoing. So it makes you feel like, oh, they doing something that would make me uncomfortable. So it's making you get secondhand embarrassment. You hear it all the time. Why is that a thing? It's a thing because a part of you feel embarrassed for them. Why would I feel embarrassed for you if what you do don't bother me? Somebody can do something right now, and if there's no irritation to me, there's no reason for me to be secondhandly embarrassed. You follow what I'm saying? But it comes from feeling like, all right, this is something that I don't like about myself. Like, it's so many times I might look like, damn, I could see somebody, say they post something, and I'd be like, you fishing. I'm only resonating with that in that way because I probably fished before, or I probably would fish. But if my brain don't go there, it's because for whatever reason, I don't even resonate with it. So I use that example, but it's transparent across the board. Like literally the things that bother us and others are things that we don't like about ourselves, are things that, because when you heal from it, you give somebody grace. I remember when I used to be like that, but I'm not like that no more. So I could either guide you or I could just not give a fuck. But if I'm still triggered by it, it's because a part of me still registers and resonates with it. And